Hello, fifth graders. This is Mrs. Mia. I'm going to be showing you today how to make this optical illusion art or op art. There are lots of different op art projects you can do. We're just going to do this one this year. And the cool thing is that if you can see my finished part right down here is we have the optical illusion or that trick of the eye. And I'm going to have a slideshow for you to see some examples of some more optical illusions or op art. I think it's really kind of fun and cool to look at these. And it looks like this is three-dimensional. So this looks like it's curving up and round, and this looks like it's curving down. And you'll get a choice to use either colored pencils or markers. I'll show you markers on my other example I'm about to make, but you can see with the colored pencils you get you can do some shading, and that even enhances the illusion even more by doing that. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do this. Today you're going to need a piece of paper, just a 9 by 12 inch sheet of paper. And you'll need a ruler and a pencil. And then after you're done, at least with today, you want to at least get done with the drawing part with pencil and ruler. But you might have time to get started with the coloring. And in that case, you'll also need either some markers or colored pencils as well. So you'll get to choose which tool, colored pencils or markers, to use to color in. Okay, first step is that we're going to find the middle of your paper. Mine is right about here, and just make a little dot. Okay, so a dot in the middle of your paper. You're going to take your ruler and you're going to draw some lines that go through the dot. And your ruler, as you can see, if mine doesn't reach the whole page, your ruler should touch the dot. But I'm going to go here, and then you just slide your ruler up, line it up with that line, and then you continue to get. So there's a diagonal line. You want to have between 6 to 8 lines. So I'm going to do another one this way. And that would be 2 lines. I'll continue it. If I do one here, this would be 3. Yeah, I'm going to do it like in the middle first. It's almost like slicing a pizza or a pie. That's 1, 2, 3. 4. You see, every time I'm going through this dot in the middle. Count them as you go so you don't lose track. I'm going to do one like this. 5. Draw a light too, in case you need to erase. If you draw light, you can erase easily. So I always say is draw a light to get it right. And I think I'm going to divide this one in half. So this is going to go diagonal this way. So 6 lines at the least. You might be able to fit 2 more in, but it has to be an even number. So don't make 7. It's either 6 or 8 is what you're going to need. Even number. Okay, so after you make all your lines, going through the dot in the middle, going from one side of your paper to the other, make sure it goes all the way across to the other side. Don't stop in the middle. Is that you're going to take your pencil, and you're going to pick which one of these triangles that you have now that you're going to start with, and you're going to draw a curved line. So I'm going to curve from one side to the next, curved line. And I want these to be parallel, which means I want the curve to be about the same. So, and not too close, you're going to spread them out. We want about 5 or 6 lines in each. But see how my curve is the same, about the same distance? We don't need to measure, but we're just kind of guessing or estimating the distance. We don't want to have one really close and one really far. We want them about the same. If you do make one really far, that's okay. It'll just add more interest. But now I fit on this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of these you might be able to fit 6. See, some of these are longer. Okay, now on the next one, this section here, I'm not going to curve up. I'm going to curve down. So it's going to make a pattern back and forth. So I'm going to start at this curve here, and I'm going to curve, instead of up, I'm going to curve down. It does the opposite. And curve from one side of that triangle to the other. So every time I'm going to start there and curve. So it's doing the opposite from one side of that to the other. Okay, now there's this extra room here. I have room for one more. I don't want to leave that empty. So I'm going to add one more here. And you know what? There's probably going to be a little bit of one right there. So you sometimes kind of have to imagine where it's going to be or where it's going to continue. Okay, so you're just going to continue doing this. As you can see on the next one, I'm going to do the opposite. So it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. So on this one, I'm going to go start at this, where this other one ended, and I'm going to curve up and over, same thing. So we want to continue this pattern all the way. Oh, this one is going to run out of room. But you know what? So I went up to here because it would probably go off the page, but I imagine it would probably come back in right around here. So you're going to have to kind of, I always say it's kind of like a train going through a tunnel. You just kind of imagine where it's going to come in or come out on the other side and just continue. So I'm just going to do one more of these just to show you. I'm not going to have you watch me do the whole thing because, well, that would be kind of boring and you want to get your work done. So I'm just going to continue this. There's one more, and then I see here there might be room for one more right here. We're just going to show part of it. All right, you keep on doing that till you filled up all of these in that pattern. And you can see it's already starting to have an illusion and look like it's going in, up and down and looking three-dimensional. So once you finish that, let me show you my other one I had. So see how I got all these done all the way around. That's the finished thing. Then you're going to start coloring these in with either colored pencil or marker. You got to decide, don't do both. I'm going to show you on this one here, the marker. On this one, I'm going to continue to demonstrate how to do the color pencil. So I'm going to find my color I was using before. I kind of have this maroon color. You can pick whatever color you want. And when you do this, you're going to color every other one. It's like a checkerboard pattern. So what I like to do, if you want to kind of plan this out ahead, is that you can, whether you're doing color pencil or marker, outline every other one so that you're kind of planning ahead. So I'm going to skip this one, then I'm going to outline this one right here. So that is one technique you can do to kind of keep track of which ones you're going to color and which ones you're not. So when I'm coloring this one, I'm going to start on this side and we're going to kind of see how I'm going with the direction of the shape. So I'm not coloring up and down, I'm kind of curving it and going up and over. You can color lightly first. We're going to do shading and add value. Remember, value is the lightness and darkness of a color. So I'm going to go light, but I can always go darker. If you can't go lighter, if you go too dark, you can't take it away unless you can erase it. But it's easier to just kind of go light at first, and then you can always add more color. So see if I go over and I press a little bit harder, you want it to be darker on the outside edge and light here towards the middle. So see how I went dark, medium, light, light, medium, dark. So it's gradually changing into a gradient and going light. In fact, you can even leave a little bit of the white showing in the very, very middle, and that will even increase that optical illusion even more in the sense that it's round and three-dimensional. So I'm just going to go very lightly here. I'm going to create 3 different values. Remember, we learned about value last year in 4th grade. So you can press harder, you can go over it again. You can control the shading by the pressure you put on your color pencil, but you can also kind of go over parts over and repeatedly. Okay, so there's that, and see how it goes up and over, and that shading kind of enhances that effect. And then I would do the same thing on this part here. I'll do one more. I'm going to go the direction of the curve. And I'm going to make it darker here on the edge. So the edge is where you get darker. The middle of the shape is where it's the lightest. And you don't want it to look stripy. You don't want it to like be dark and then light. You want it to be a gradual change. So you just kind of can always go back and add a little bit more. I made that one a little bit darker in the middle than I wanted to, but then I can just make the outside edge darker, and that contrast, it means difference, will make it work out in the end anyway. So there we go. See how it's dark and then medium and light. Not as light as some of my other ones, but that's okay. Okay, so if you're going to use colored pencils, I'm just going to show on this edge I already started. You're not going to do shading because you can really do shading the same way as on markers. But you are still going to do every other one. So I'm going to outline which one. Remember checker pattern. So that one, this one, this one. I'm just going to go through and trace which ones I'm going to color in. And then I can color them in. And there will be no shading on this one, but it'll still have an optical illusion effect. If you want, make sure you do your nicest, neatest coloring that you can do. Show me good craftsmanship. That means taking your time to do your best work. Now, this coloring part is going to take a while. This is a project you probably won't finish when you do this the first day. This is probably going to be something you start maybe get this much done or maybe a little bit more, but I don't expect that you're going to finish the entire thing. This is something you'll keep in your portfolio. And as we finish other things, this is something that we don't have to get done to the end of the quarter in December. So this will be kind of a work in progress. You'll get a participation grade for today for starting it. And then you'll also get a grade for finishing it when you do finish it before the end of the quarter. So there we go. Don't worry if you don't get done. I want you to take your time and do your best coloring that you can do. So I would just keep on doing this, skipping every other one. So you don't want to have two of the same color next to it. I want to put red here. Want to be white. If you want, you can do two colors. You can leave it white. That's up to you. All right. Can't wait to see what yours looks like. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.